What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 10th episode of the Console Corner, where we talk all things gaming. We have some great topics to talk about tonight, like Gears 4, Mother Effin' Titanfall 2, Zelda, and much more. As we always do, I want to thank everyone who comes out to support us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to ask your questions in the chat. We'll be picking a few to talk about at the end of the show. All right, let's introduce our panel of gamers, starting off with our three special guests this week. First up, we have a great YouTuber who has his own channel. He's also on Xbox Nation and starting his own podcast soon, Mr. Xbot448.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. My next guest runs his own site and has been. I had a chance to talk to him on the Shop podcast, Mr. Bear Claw Gaming.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be here.
Nice to have you. Next, we have a good friend of ours. He's also been on the Console Corner a few times. He's also part of TXR podcast, Mr. Randall Thor 19.
Hey, 1 second. I'm just finishing up this episode of General Hospital that SheWolf told me to check out. It's pretty good. Now I know why she's tired all day. You know, there's a lot of episodes.
You are an ass. You are officially an ass.
I love it.
Oh my God.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Another exciting start to the show. Oh, man. The next guy is a man of few words, Mr. Captain Zazma.
No, I don't even want to talk tonight.
He's pretty salty right now. He'll probably get into it here shortly.
I'll let you guys know.
Next up, we have one half of the dynamic duo on Gamers Knows Best, Miss SheWolf.
You know, I was gonna interrupt and be like, "Oh, the god of Xbox, the one that yeah, but I was being really nice. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and I'm not gonna make him blush like I did before. I'd be really nice, but no, he just had to add it all in there."
It's all in good fun, though. Come on. I mean, unless you don't want people to know that you love General Hospital, then.
See, I just want to let you guys know, I'm more of a game show person. I'm not really a soap opera type person. I like Family Feud and stuff like that. So.
Who doesn't like John Stamos? Come on, people.
Wow.
Would it help you to know, SheWolf, that there was a point in time that one of my best friends during high school actually came home every single day to watch General Hospital with his older brother?
What is the show even about?
It's about a hospital generally.
I guess that would work.
And I used to look at him we'd be like, all right, so we get off of school at 2 o'clock, and I'd come over and he'd be like, I can't do anything to 3. I'm like, why? He's like, General Hospital's on. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? It's like, no, bro, the storylines are deep. Okay.
Wow.
Like falling in love with your sister and stuff. You know,
the soap opera show, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, I'll be your host, GKP. I can't stop right now. It's so hilarious. I want to send a huge shout out to PTK Blam and AsthMattic. We're working on a schedule figuring this thing out. It's just not working out for them to be on the show right now, but we'll get it in check here soon. All right, guys. So, like we always do, I want to go ahead and start off and go around to everyone and see what they've been playing for the week. Let's go ahead and start with Xbox448. What you been playing, bro?
Of course, I've been playing a lot of Halo. I've been getting ready for the firefight. I was just in a game with the kids playing Ark, so I've been playing that. I've been trying to get back on the Division, but my wife's been kind of holding me back on that for some reason. But for people who know me, I got damn near 900 hours on Halo, so that pretty much takes most of my time. Oh, and Need for Speed as well. I bought Need for Speed for $20 a couple weeks back, and for that price, that game was worth it. The game was definitely worth $20.
Nice, good stuff. What about you, Bearclaw? What you been playing, bro?
I've been playing a lot of Halo 5. I never really stopped. And then playing Gears 3 to get ready for the Gears 4 beta, and then just today starting up some Dark Souls 3.
Nice. I feel you on that Dark Souls.
Yep.
Rand, what about you, man? I know you can't really play much right now, but...
I finished up episode 2 of Blues and Bullets, and I've been helping people get Flawless Raider and Destiny, and that's pretty much it.
Nice. What about you, SheWolf? What you been up to?
I haven't really been playing much games of anything this week. I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I did play a bit of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, though, with Fox and GKB, but really that's about it.
Cool.
Been slacking this week.
Hey, GKB, I forgot to say. I can't believe I forgot to say this. Quantum Break. I played through it the first time. I'm on my second one trying to make different decisions and stuff. I can't believe that I didn't say that.
Oh, it's all right, bro. Yeah, I'm
That's
on the
amazing.
second playthrough too, man. Yeah, I'm working through the hard mode right now.
Nice.
What about you, Zaz? What you been playing, bro?
Um,
The salt right now.
yeah, well, I played Quantum Break, whatever. I finished that in 8 hours. Who cares? And then I went to what did I play? Oh, I played Battleborn beta, and that was garbage, and I hated that. And then I went on to Halo, and I guess that's all right, whatever. And then I just watched Everybody Loves Raymond for like 20 hours, so I was cool with it.
Nice.
It's a good written show, guys.
Nice. Yeah, I've been playing Quantum Break. I'm on Dark Souls right now. I'm actually thinking about playing through Shadow of Mordor. I never got to finish that game. Just
Oh,
everything
it's
else
pretty
comes up.
good. It's worth it.
Yeah, totally. I think I played through like a quarter of it and then just stopped. So I'm gonna get back into that here soon. All right, so let's go on to the topics. First one I want to start off is like there's some news and rumors, and it's kind of like gaining a little bit of steam here. Is like Fable Legends, could be coming out after all. Some of the devs that worked on the game, kind of want to finish it independently. I want to see what you guys thought about, possibly getting Fable Legends back. Anybody want to take a stab?
I actually said that this game was gonna like Kickstarter or something, and then I'm told by one of the people when I asked about the NDA that they do not recommend doing it. So be very careful.
I already did it.
Oh, did you? Because, well, I guess you can be like kicked from it still. So
I don't know. Yeah, it's a really cool game. Like I don't understand when it was in like that steady wheel to be put out there. A lot of people were there was people saying how good it was and stuff like that. A lot of people were bashing it. So now all of a sudden they say, okay, well we're ceasing development on that, and then there's like this huge outcry, and it's like, well, I can almost guarantee a pretty good percentage of that huge outcry were the people that were kind of bashing the whole idea of the 4v1 and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. I would rather see a Fable reboot though, so this way they can set it up better for sequels than they did with Fable 1, 2, and 3. I've said that before. I think they went way too fast into time to where all of a sudden like guns were like the mainstay and stuff like that. I wanted it to be more in the the sword and magic kind of feel to it. I think they sped it up too quick. I would rather see a reboot, but I would play Fable Legends if it does come out.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it on the show before, like I was super salty when they closed down Lionhead Studios and canceled Fable Legends because I was in there from the get-go, and I put so much time filling out all those bug things and just helping develop that game. So I would be very happy if they continued development and went ahead and put this out as a free-to-play. It'd be just something else. The game looks beautiful as heck, man, and I'm kind of like with you, Xbot. Like I didn't really understand like. Nobody was behind this game, but then all of a sudden, hey, let's close down the studio, and then everybody's like, oh my god, that's terrible. Well, where the heck were you when they were developing this game?
Exactly.
Bunch of posers.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But I hope they can get this done. So
I would love to see the game made because I like you said, we were in it from the very beginning. We watched it grow. We watched it go from literally just colors to actual graphics to real, like almost real life design and everything else like that. We were so involved with it, but we didn't want to keep playing it because we weren't getting the achievements for it. So what?
It's funny. That's the main reason why I stopped playing it, and it's the main reason why like I'll go and play Ark like with the kids every once in a while, and I got it from as the game preview, but I'm waiting until the achievements come out because I want to feel like I accomplished something as I go through, what I need to go through in the game. And my son gets kind of upset with me about not going and playing Ark as much as he wants me to, but it's like I still want those achievements,
Right.
Well, especially for how in-depth that game was. For anyone who actually got to run somewhat through the story and everything they added to it, like the werewolves and everything, there was so much. There could have been so many great achievements and everything else like that, and I didn't want to play through it and then waste all of that when I wanted the achievements for the things that I did. And so, yeah, I sat back, I didn't play it, and now it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, and I don't think that I think that there might be a small possibility that Microsoft allows them to finish the game as an independent contracted thing. But at the end of the day, unless Microsoft decides to pick up Lionhead again, as far as I know, Lionhead can no longer make a new Fable game. Microsoft owns the IP.
Yep.
So that means that unless Microsoft gives them the go-ahead, Fable 4 will not happen. That also means that Microsoft, in the future, if they felt like it, could create a new studio or pass Fable on to someone like Rare, for example. But I don't know. I think Fable Legends is so much a misstep for what fans wanted. I think that if they had done Fable 4, I don't think Lionhead would be in the situation they're in now.
But you know what? I don't truly believe that. I think that if they would have actually opened it up to an actual open beta and let people actually see this game, they wouldn't be thinking the same way.
Well, I had to step away for a second, so I'm assuming the topic is Fable Legends, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So the problem with Fable Legends is they put the Fable IP on a free-to-play game that nobody really wanted. See, I think part of the reason is if they would have called it something else instead of Fable Legends, like if it was a brand new IP and it was free-to-play, I think people would have been more accepting of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you say Fable, you assume a third-person action RPG, right? Not a free-to-play, like 4-on-1 co-op type game that it is.
Right.
So
Well,
a lot, like I think Bear Claw said, a lot of people, all they wanted is Fable 4. They just want a continuation of the series. They didn't want something completely different. And I mean, maybe at one point when they were building this game, it was supposed to be a new IP, but maybe didn't get any traction. So he's like, hey, why not use the Fable IP? It is, a big thing. Problem is, though, is that even if you allowed it to open beta, right, if you just let everybody play it, the metrics were so that nobody was enjoying the game. Like, they had opened it up quite a bit earlier in the year,
Mm-hmm.
and, from what people were saying is that, like, people would play one match and then never play it again. Like, nobody was enjoying the beta. The feedback that Microsoft was getting, that the game wasn't enjoyable. So if you're doing a free-to-play game, and because like Flying Head they have a lot of money invested to it, because it's also one of those games that has to be constantly updated, all the time. It's not just like you ship it like you can with Quantum Break and like you're done, right? Like, this is a game you don't really need updates. Like, Fable Legends was going to need people on that to make sure that's constantly updated with new stuff to do and new things, kind of like how Division is, or kind of like how Destiny is. The problem is, I think they realized that, like, since nobody was enjoying the game and nobody was playing it, then they weren't going to make their money back. So they were just going to shut the game down eventually. And
Right.
what would be worse, like the game coming out, and then 9 months later they shut it down, or just shut it down before anybody, or just cancel it before it even comes out.
See, I think it's real interesting with like the gaming community today, and I'm not saying like the guys in here. I'm not even saying majority of people watching right now. But it is so hard to read the gaming community. Like you said, they put out so much that they didn't like playing the game. The game wasn't enjoyable, and so but when all of a sudden it's ceased development, there's this huge outcry. It's like it's so hard to read exactly what.
Well, I don't think it's
community
because they
wants.
canceled the game. I think it's because they shut down the studio that there was the outcry. I think a lot of people would have been like, all right, Fable Legends is down for the count. We don't care, because we don't care about the game in the first place. People were just pissed because Lionhead got shut down, which means no Fable 4, period, from them at least.
Well, and what frustrates me though about Fable, and it goes off what you were saying, is that everything that people loved about the Fable franchise was that it was a game that allowed you to be yourself and that you could make decisions and kind of create your own adventure within this world that had a really good personality. And the personality was definitely there in the in Fable Legends, but the decision making and kind of this open world thing, they kind of had that small world hub, and then they kind of had basically on rails MOBA action. And I think that they just broke so many. It basically was take a MOBA and put a Fable skin on it instead of take Fable and make it a MOBA. Do you know what I mean? Like it felt like a reskin instead of sticking to Fable's roots.
Well, it really wasn't a MOBA though.
No, I don't. For lack of a better term.
Right. Yeah.
It's really hard to explain what kind of game it is.
I'm assuming the NDAs are still on. I mean, because I played it as well.
Yeah, but they end in like 3 days, right?
Right. So yeah, but so what I was told about the game was that, like, and this is kind of a big misconception about this. Like, people are like, we just want Fable 4. Why didn't they just make Fable 4? So, from what I was told, that this was the game Lionhead wanted to make. They didn't want to make Fable 4. They wanted to make this game, Fable Legends. And the studio was entirely built around this games as a service ideal, right? Mm-hmm. And essentially, when Microsoft decided that they weren't going to do this game anymore, they had to shut the studio down because the entire studio was based around that ideal. Like, the studio's not based around doing Fable 4. Like, all the people at that studio were, all hired because they had experience in, free-to-play kind of stuff, not in, like, the RPG stuff. So, yeah, like, I think that's a common misconception people don't realize is that they wanted to, like, Phil and all the guys at Microsoft, they don't force studios to make a game, essentially.
Well, and building off of that, Phil Spencer had nothing to do with, I mean, as far as I know, had nothing to do with Fable Legends being greenlit. I mean, Fable Legends existed in 2013, which means the game had been in development at least since 2012, which means it had Don Matrick's fingers all over it. And basically, Phil Spencer basically inherited this baby that they couldn't sell. And I think that ultimately, I think Microsoft, feeling a little bit of pressure, is probably making decisions on what games to continue funding going forward, and Fable Legends just wasn't going to make the cut.
I mean, it was weird because last year at E3, if you guys remember, the Fable Legends guy was part of that whole greatest game, greatest Xbox lineup in history. It was right there next to Master Chief. He was right there next to Lara Croft. He was right there next to
I have that that graphic that they did.
And it's so weird that, like, and then they dropped them from the marketing completely, which we knew the game wasn't coming last year. And then, like, a couple months into this year, it's like, oh, by the way, studio shut down. It's like, damn.
For all we know, though, as far as I know, the way Microsoft runs their stuff is that, they look over a project when it's being made, but ultimately the studio heads make the calls on delays. And for all we know, Lionhead kept saying, wait, we need more time, we need more time, and it became a money sinkhole for Microsoft to just keep funding this project that was in perpetual. What was it, in closed beta for 18 months, something like that?
Yeah, it's forever.
You figure their last game was like what, 2012, 2011?
Yeah, 2012.
I mean, the last game was that Fable the Journey Connect game, which didn't sell well, and that was back in whatever year that. So they haven't made a game. They essentially haven't had any money coming in since like 2011, and they've been spending a fucking shit ton making this game work. Like.
Mm-hmm. Rand, I do have to say when you're talking about how people wanted it might have been Bear Claw. People wanted another Fable and stuff like that, and how Rand said how people were upset that they closed Lionhead, and I'm thinking about it. I liked Fable Legends. My wife loved Fable Legends, but I do remember one of the main things when I heard the news was, remember that kind of post-apocalyptic kind of survival game that they were talking about? That's what really got me disappointed, is that Lionhead wouldn't be coming out with that game. I wouldn't get any more details about what that game was about.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about the new IP they were supposedly making?
Yeah.
The thing about that is, I don't believe any of that nonsense. Like, I know it's true, right? But I never believed for a second that it ever was coming out, because look at the history of Microsoft Studios. Like, when have you seen them? It's always this studio's making a new IP, this studio making a new IP. But when it comes down to the brass tacks, do they actually really? The answer is always no, they don't.
Yeah.
Because, like, how many new IPs was Rare working on that were canceled over the course of the years Microsoft had them? 10? At least 10. You know, Lionhead's worked on new IPs before this one, and they always get canceled. 343 is making Halo. They can't do anything else. Hell, in one of the decisions that made me probably the most upset is Microsoft decided to can or stop production of Shanghaiist in favor of Gears of War 4.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't.
So
if you watch the Game Informer stuff, and again, this could just be mumbo jumbo, but the studio head who was there before Rod Ferguson came in said that they were given the choice of continue their project,
right, yeah,
or can everything forever and be Gears forever.
Well, I mean, when you that's good job security though, like because Gears of
sure.
War is going,
Yeah.
and that's another thing. Like that's the thing with like Rare. People ask, well, why didn't Rare just make Rare games? Why did they make Kinect games? And if you read the stories, Microsoft wasn't necessarily forcing them to make Kinect games. It's just that the Rare heads thought Kinect would be so huge that they would all have job security because they could keep on making Kinect games for a while.
And let's be honest, like Rare was good at making Kinect games as well. Were the games perfect? No, but
Neither was
out
the
of
technology.
a lot of the Kinect games, because like I said, we have children here. I played a lot of the Kinect games and stuff like that, and Rare was head and shoulders above a lot of other developers who made games for that peripheral.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, like it's a shame that Lionhead's closed down. I completely agree with people. Like I obviously we don't know the financial situation, and I enjoyed the Fable series. I still think Fable 1's the best of the series itself, right?
But do you think, like Rand, that they would Microsoft say, hey, you guys can finish this independently, but
Well, that's the thing. Like it might just be more. Look at what Microsoft's done this gen, right? Like look at the games they're funding essentially. Quantum Break, Scalebound, Recore. They don't have first-party studios working on those games. They all have partnerships with essentially second-party studios or whatever, because it's just easier to just pay somebody for that game than it is to keep a studio afloat constantly. It seems Microsoft is going in that direction where they'd rather pay. So yeah, it's entirely possible the Fable people, form a independent studio, but I can't see them like going production with Fable Legends again because. What would be the point? You shut down the game for a reason and the studio. Why bother bringing it back? Bring it back. Like if you were gonna do it, I would see maybe they save some of the assets from the game, and they just turn it into Fable 4.
Fable 4, yeah.
Because think about it. Like they shut down the studio and the game, and now they're gonna bring the game back with the same people at a different studio. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right in saying the backlash of the news was not because it was Fable Legends, it was because it was Lionhead.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're absolutely right in that regard.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Is like if they did do that, say it's not Fable Legends, say it's just another Fable, game or whatever. I think that would help out the Microsoft PR in being like, oh look, hey, Microsoft's let them do it and blah 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 blah. I think that would be kind of cool too.
I kind of like what I said before. These devs at Lionhead, they basically came out and they were kind of trying to get Microsoft's attention. Like, hey, we would really like to do like a Fable reboot. There was a lot of ideas and stuff that we had that we didn't really put into it and stuff like that. And they kind of like wanted to come together as an independent, studio to kind of do a reboot of Fable. And I would really like to see that because I want to see it. I want to see that like get fleshed out even more, and I want to see how much support it would have as a reboot.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. All right, guys, I think we killed that topic to death.
Just like Microsoft killed the Lionhead.
Dude, I will talk forever, man. You guys don't have to shut me up. Like.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. Is Microsoft dropped some knowledge on us about E3. Phil even had an interview stating that they're gonna have a nice E3 focusing on the console and games. We also have a time now, and no surprise, it's going to be on Monday the 13th at 9:30 a.m. I think that's the status quo for Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
We also had some more news that the FCC filing has 2 number designations for possibly the Slim Xbox and maybe Xbox Beastfire. Who knows? What do you guys think about this stuff?
Well, First, I want to focus on the word "nice" by Phil Spencer. I gotta ask you guys: do you think he's like kind of downplaying it? Because if you look at it, you have
Absolutely.
you have titles like Recore, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, Scalebound, all this stuff to show stuff that hasn't even been, in the
Really
public
shown
eye
up.
yet either. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a nice E3." Like that sounds so like watered down.
But that's totally Phil, though.
Oh man.
Well,
Like,
Well, he might be
well,
trying to downplay it
last
too.
year it was hyped though. Last year,
Yeah, and then but that's been like this year. Anything he hypes up, everybody eats him down if the slightest thing is off. So he's smarter just to like be like, yeah, we'll have a good show. You're ready.
Well,
Yeah,
I think he's being a little downplaying it too, because I think and the Nintendo is going to show some new hardware and stuff, and I think no matter what Sony or Microsoft does, I think they're just going to win the show anyway. So I don't think they want the expectations too high, to let anybody down, kind of thing too. So
Plus,
well, and I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead. No,
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, so I would love to be wrong on this, and I think I said this actually on the Shop podcast last week, GKB, but I would be shocked but pleasantly surprised if Recore and Sea of Thieves both make the cut this year. I think that like if we
you're
look at
killing me,
Gears-
Bear. I want Record right now, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'd love to see something of maybe Sea of Thieves in the preview program, maybe. But I just think that Gears of War is coming out in October, and we've seen a lot of stuff about that game outside of the original E3 trailer since then. So if we're planning on launching Recore and Sea of Thieves in somewhere in the September to December range, I think that we would start to see some news by now.
I don't know though, because look
Nah.
at Fallout though. Fallout didn't release their trailer until what was it, like 2 weeks, and then guess what? Hey, we're getting it in like November.
Yeah, but that's
Right.
Fallout, though.
Well,
Not
and-
many games can do
on
that.
the same token, you got to look at how Microsoft, especially under Phil Spencer, has done E3 and Gamescom in the past. Over the past few years, E3 has been about what's coming out that year, and Gamescom is what's coming up next year. So I think that regardless, we will see more of those games, whether it be in June at E3 or in August. But I think that I always love these statements. Every executive says it, whether it's Sony, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever. Where they're always like, yeah, we're gonna have a good show. Well, it's like, well, of course he's gonna tell you
yeah.
he's gonna have a good show.
What do you expect them to say?
Well,
Hey,
well,
guys,
we're gonna have a bad
they
show.
have a terrible show. Don't even bother
Phil's like-
watching.
Yeah, Phil's like, it's not gonna be good as last year, guys. Like, no, he's not gonna tell you that. Of course he's gonna tell you it's gonna be good, guys.
Well,
That's-
Bear, when you're talking about the October release of Gears 4, I find that really interesting because when it comes to these companies, there's always a release in November, something
Right.
big.
No, you're right.
So if they didn't have something else that they're planning there, like they would definitely have Gears in November. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
Mm.
there is something I will swear Phil has something up his sleeve, and I'm not sure if it is Sea of Thieves is one of my most
Sea of Thieves
highly
will get this-
anticipated.
See if these would get destroyed if they launched it
Also-
in November.
Also, is
Yeah.
anybody else? I know it's not on our our schedule for tonight, but is anyone else a little shocked that Crackdown is supposed to launch sometime this summer, and we've seen like nothing?
It's just the
Well,
only
it's
thing.
just a beta.
It's just a beta, just a
Yeah,
multiplayer.
yeah, it's just gonna do the multiplayer.
But, I mean, you'd still expect some news. Like, I don't know.
Well, it'll
Yeah.
probably be at E3. They'll
Yep.
talk about it. I wouldn't
And
be
they say,
surprised
hey, you
if
can
they
play it right now.
packaged
I don't
it
know. I
with,
don't think any game wants to release news because the media just eats it up before it's even released anyways. Look at Quantum Break.
Or Gears. Did you guys see all the feedback about the Gears video that broke embargo for Gears 4 this morning?
Yeah.
I didn't
Every-
want to look at it. So
People were bashing the visuals on it, and it's like, well, it's an alpha.
They said it's a beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an actual like true beta. It's 6 months from release. It's not like
Not
Battleborn, which
testing the
comes out
servers.
tomorrow, and it's like, oh, by the way, the full retail game's a month away. It's like, the Gears one is like kind of a true beta, like Halo 5's one was. I don't know, like, I think Gears is still their big holiday release.
Oh, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because if you look at the way, because look at November. November's always Call of Duty. It'll be probably Battlefield 5. It'll be the big heavy hitters, right?
Mhm.
Microsoft does. I mean, Microsoft's only game that can compete with that is Halo, but like they always lose. Like if you put Halo against Call of Duty, Halo's going to lose. Period.
Oh,
Well,
that-
the Halo title that's coming out this year is not a November slot.
Right. No,
I-
but
I
but
bet
here's
it
the
will.
thing: you can put Halo Wars 2 out in November because it's not going to compete with Call
Yeah,
of Duty.
that's
Well,
why I
and
said it's not
yeah.
there.
I think it will be a November release for Halo Wars because if you look at even though they haven't formally announced it, can we all agree they're probably going to have Forza Horizon 3 or a Forza
September.
title this year?
No,
Right.
totally.
So that's September. October we're going to have Gears. Maybe
Which isn't that at the beginning of October, isn't it? Like October
October
11th?
11th, yeah.
Right. So that means November is open. I would be shocked if Halo is not our November game. I just think that they're gonna. That being said, I think that you will not see nearly the sales numbers behind a RTS console game.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
I don't think Microsoft made that game to be uber successful. I think it was just one of those things where they needed it to fill. And honestly, I think the game it's more about probably driving Windows 10 stuff because that's computers
more of
where
a
you
PC.
pay PC games.
I was gonna say, it's been confirmed for Windows 10, right?
Yeah, when they
Yeah.
originally announced it was
Yeah,
confirmed for. But I mean, it's going to be a good year. I mean, Gears in October, like you said, Forza Horizon 3, which isn't announced, but it's coming.
It's coming.
That's in
Yeah,
September.
worst kept secret, man.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Halo Wars 2 in November because it's not going to compete with the shooters, and then you're left with like, okay, so you got Sea of Thieves. Is that this year? Question mark. It's possible, but like, when do you release it? That's the question they're probably looking at, and Recore. I know it's going to be at E3, so the question is, when do you release that game? I'm thinking August. I'm
Yeah, I'm
thinking,
thinking August.
The smartest place.
yeah.
Sea of Thieves, I think they should actually release in like December.
I think
Yeah,
it's-
December.
I think that's getting
in
pushed
there.
back.
Hmm.
I think that's getting pushed back. Honestly.
I don't know. I thought so too, GKB. Like, I thought for
I
sure
don't.
it would get pushed back. But if you look on Twitter, like Greenberg and Rare, they're constantly talking
they're
about it.
constantly
They're
tweeting
constantly
it.
pushing it.
Greenberg's
And they're
talking
having.
about playing
and
it.
I've mentioned this before. They are having people at the mansion playing the full game. It says it right in the email that they sent out.
I mean,
Yeah,
we'll
I think a lot of people I think Sea of Thieves is more done than people think. I think they've been working on it for a while, and it looks like, from what I've seen from it, it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah, that water simulation's
Oh
fantastic.
my goodness.
I think we're more likely to see Sea of Thieves, whether it's a full retail release or kind of beta release, kind of like a Crackdown. I think we'll see that this year, more likely than Recore. And the reason I say that is
You're killing me, Bear. You're killing me, bro.
I'm gonna butcher his name pronunciation here, but Kije Inafune. He's I think started with the Metroid series, and then now he's working on Mighty Number 9.
Mhm.
Mighty, and he's involved with Recore, obviously. Mighty Number 9 has been delayed multiple times.
For sure.
And I just think that if he's at the helm of that,
He's not.
No, is he just creative director?
Just a name. Like Armature
throwing on-
Studios is doing all the
so
heavy
they're basically
lifting
just
for
throwing
that
him
game.
on kind of like a Spielberg type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I
Is
think he has maybe some input on like character designs, but like his studio concept is the one working on Mighty 9, which is why it's constantly delayed. Armature
Yeah.
Studios is doing like all the heavy lifting for Recore, so
right.
he's not really that involved as like. It's like you said, it's just a name. It's like Inafune. Like,
Okay.
people are like, oh my god, it's Inafune.
So do we
No, but-
do we have any confirmation as to what type of game it is? I mean, traditionally, if you look at those developers, they're 2D side scrollers, but in my head I'm picturing a third person shooter, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm insane.
They kind of like had like a little talk about it, and he was kind of like third person puzzle action adventure type game.
There's a lot of
Okay.
rumors with their game. I heard it's like I also think it's a 2.5D side scroller because of the pedigree
Same.
of the developer. Like that's what they make. But then again, I don't think they wouldn't type up the game the way it was if it was just going to be like Shadow Complex or Ori.
Yep.
And then I kind of heard some things where supposedly it might be a third person open world loot kind of game, maybe. Like, so I don't know. We'll find out at
I
E3,
can
I
kind of
guess.
see that. I can definitely see that. It's a really interesting title with having the sandstorms kind of dictate and change your direction in the game and stuff like that. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm going out on a
it's
limb.
It's concept wise,
I'm going out on a limb. I'm gonna put my faith in Aaron Greenberg. It's coming out later this year, so I'm holding faith.
Yeah,
Greeny.
Greeny.
I think it's gonna come out August. I think E3 they're gonna like release the gameplay and then it's gonna be like non-stop just advertising for it until it comes out, like say the end of August.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how they market this fall's games, only because last year was the greatest lineup in Xbox history. It's like, how do you follow that up?
Yeah,
With
really.
the greatest lineup in Xbox history, Part 2.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, it's funny because at the end of that lineup, I believe somebody at Xbox said, well, they believe that this year's lineup is better.
Yeah,
All right.
if games can meet their deadline of 2016, then I wouldn't question them. I just hope they can make that deadline.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think about the two possible Xboxes coming with these two designation numbers? What do you guys think they are?
One without a disc tray and
Oh, really,
a slim
huh?
model. Yeah, why not? If you notice, they've been advertising a lot of the digital sales of Quantum Break and stuff like that. And if they're gonna make a slim model, why not put that out there? I mean, games are going all digital anyway. I know there's people out there that don't want it to happen and everything like that, but unfortunately, that for those people, that's where it's swinging. I have 99% of my library is digital right now, and I
Same.
absolutely love that. So
Same.
Well,
here.
I mean, we know for sure a Slim is
Slim.
coming. I mean,
Right.
that is just like
Yep.
100. It's like worst case secrets like Forza Horizon 3. It is coming. We're about that time of the gen where they do a revision of that thing, and let's be honest, that thing could use a revision. It is a monstrosity. Look how big it is. And I'm not talking about like.
You don't like your
bad.
VCR?
I'm just saying it's so huge. Like the system, it's a fucking VCR.
I like it, man.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
I
really
like
don't mind
it.
So as far as the other one, it's interesting because I see what Xbox is talking about with the discless version that maybe you could sell for $199, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, in this day and age, you still need the disk drive. I mean, if you talk about like backwards compatibility, you need
Right.
the disk drive. If you own the
Right.
games, you're cutting out that market. And I'm not sure
That is-
super hardcore people are
That's a hard
who already
sell,
have
though.
an Xbox One are going to be like, yeah, I'll get the diskless one. I don't see that because most retailers aren't like, I don't think they would want to even carry a diskless one because then that means they can't really sell the games and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Well, they could also do a slim model, kind of like what they do with the slim, like what they have right now with the regular X1 and then the Elite. I mean, they can have like a kind of almost a slightly higher performance when it comes to like the hybrid drive and stuff like that, and still box it up in the slim form and have those two as well.
Well, I mean, the rumors still persist that the PS4K is coming out now, regardless of whatever that is. Whether it's like a super fucking awesome PS4 or just one for VR. But then the rumors are still out. I mean, Phil talked about upgraded Xbox Ones at that conference, even though he kind of backtracked a little bit with his statement with Game Informer. I mean, it very well could be that we get Xbox 1.5 of some sort this year as well. You have the Slim, and then you have this new version, and then essentially Microsoft could sell two Xbox Ones. You could sell the Slim and then this new one.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's gonna how well that's gonna do. But I mean, if there's really two revisions of the system, like as outed by the FCC, I don't know what the other one could be. I mean, we know one's the Slim for sure. The other one is kind of like a mystery. Is it this
Right.
like more powerful
More
Xbox
powerful?
One,
Mhm.
or is it like is it what Xbox said? Could it just be an Xbox One without a disk drive?
I
Now,
don't
see-
expect them to be without a disk drive. And the only reason I say that is because after a couple of years, it seems like 4K, whatever, Blu-ray, I guess that's how they're categorized. 4K Blu-ray is becoming mainstream. And so I think that as we start to stream more content from Netflix, Hulu, etc. in 4K, I think that Xbox and obviously PlayStation are going to want to be, able to play 4K discs for movies and TV. That being said, I think we've talked about this before. I highly doubt that we will see an Xbox iteration this year that will be substantially more powerful than the Xbox One. Maybe we'll have an Elite type situation where it's faster load times, but I don't expect anything substantial.
See, what a lot of people, I've been looking into to what Microsoft wants to do with Xbox, and I've been looking into the whole universal Windows platform and stuff like that. When we talk about Xbox, I don't think we could talk under traditional means, because when Phil Spencer was talking, he was talking about forwards and backwards compatibility. That means even when they come out with the next
you're still being able
next
to play
generation Xbox, they'll come out with games for that. With the UWP, that game could actually scale down to people who still have an X1. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
still
well,
be able-
they're having problems with the PC version.
they're having problems with that for now. All right, but this is definitely the direction that they want to go. All right.
I'm reading some more things, and apparently one of these has a
new wireless
way
phone.
improved, a faster Wi-Fi in it.
I think they did that with a 360 at one point too.
Right, and
I just want to see an Xbox without the stupid big brick. Just give me a regular cord.
And someone who I know posted in here, who I know is an insider, all he says is an updated Xbox One at E3 ? Super smiley face. So I know that I know this dude, and
Do you trust this guy?
Yeah, but he it's like a question mark with a smiley face. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Like,
Yeah, we know something's coming, right?
something is definitely brewing. Like, I don't know about. I mean, man, an updated Xbox One. You know, that's one of the things about PC gaming I never liked, is the having to upgrade your stuff every couple years. You know, but hey, if Microsoft wants to fucking hand out, hey, if everybody's in the audience, everybody gets an updated Xbox One, I'll be fine with that.
Of course you would. You'll be there.
Hook me up, yo. I'm fine with that.
That's hilarious. Awesome, guys. Awesome topic. Let's go ahead and move on. Next topic I wanted to get into is the Gears of War 4. We had a new trailer showcasing the Phoenix family. Also, it seems like every day Rod and the team are tweeting out teasers of the game. I wanted to see what everyone thought of the trailer, and what does everybody think how Coalition is doing with the franchise.
I'll go first.
Go for it, Zazz.
Okay.
Eyes.
Yeah, no. Anybody who has ever heard me speak even once, I bring up how much I dislike Gears of War, and it's just the trailer. I'm sorry, and sorry for anybody who likes it. I apologize. It already set the wrong tone for me, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, who cares? Give me some kind of lore on why this keeps going on, and maybe you'll get me interested. But right now, this whole father-son with Disturbed's crappy cover playing over it, it's not doing anything for me. And way to aim for your targeting market, Disturbed. Come on, get out.
Yes, let the hate flow through
And
you.
thank you, Rand.
It makes you stronger.
And it's, if they can make up for 4 games, right? 4 games, Judgment counts, Baird, worth of bull crap, then maybe they can be okay with me. But right now...
Is this the Vision Salt coming out, or is this...
No!
Okay, I'm just checking.
Because I keep trying to play the games, and every time it gets to the writing like it's Expendables Part Stinkin' 6 with...
Ouch.
It's like he wrote it. It is just like it was written for an Expendables movie, and I can't do it. Anybody who's listened
That's
knows.
what's hilarious about it, man.
Well, maybe if somebody told me that I'm just an outsider not in on the joke, that it's supposed to be because it seems like everybody's taking it seriously. Maybe it's just me. Maybe this is the same hate that I bring for the Transformers movies, when it's usually just people trying to enjoy all the graphics and stuff. But no, I'm like, this is terrible. Maybe I am hating because the writing and voice acting was just so bad to me that I didn't understand why it gained such a following. Somebody, who's the biggest Gears fan in this podcast? Explain it to me.
I am.
Go ahead.
Let me go right off of that. So,
Go.
I've read a handful of the books. I've played all the games. Judgment exists, but we don't like to talk about it. I think that Gears is good in a lot of ways. I think that a lot of people don't give it credit in that when it came out 10 years ago, there weren't games like it. Everybody copies them now as far as cover-based shooters go. They don't do it right, but they copy them. I think the story's good. I think it's fine. A lot of the books flesh out They kind of, and I think the first 3 games, and I give this complaint some merit, is that they're very dude bro, right? They're very chest bumpy, kind of they're kind of assholes is kind of all of the characters.
Right.
But that's just the writing. Like it's supposed to be anti, I don't know. It's meant to be kind of punk, and that's what I love about Gears. And I think the new trailer, but I love it because it's this chainsawing, sociopath. But then they also have these moments where talking about some stuff that happens in Gears 2, and there's also some sad moments in Gears 3 where it's like a game that will make you smile when you chainsaw and cry when they kill off a key character. And I think other games, Halo included, just can't affect me the way Gears has. And that being said,
counterpoint though. Okay, story.
Right.
I'll give you. Okay, if it does have maybe, because I can get around things being almost poorly written if the lore is fleshed out through the universe, whatever. Because I got over it with Destiny. It had such a good universe. I got over Dinklage bot ruining everything for me. And I got over it. Well, I still didn't get over it. That's a big lie, but whatever.
I was gonna say you didn't get over it.
No, I never got over it. I'm just lying for the podcast. So
this is supposed to be about truth, Zazz.
Look who you're talking to. So story, whatever, I'll get rid of that one. But even the gameplay is not doing it for me. They're doing what our buddy calls the Ninja Turtle run. And okay, so I play the remaster. What piece of crap? Just roll shotgun, blast me every 4 seconds.
It sounds like you are not very good at Gears of War.
I was fine at Gears of War. I was
all right.
Perfect at it.
Yeah, but getting to the core of it, I do like. I think the new trailer is great. If you liked the first 3, then you are gonna like the new trailer, and I'm looking forward to the beta next week. I can't be more excited for that.
Yeah, I thought the trailer was really cool how they're like passing on the torch to JD Phoenix and showing Marcus's like family and stuff, which I don't know, I thought was kind of odd. Like Marcus as a character, I was like, man, I don't know if he'd be out in the country somewhere like planting a tree or something like that.
Right.
That didn't really feel right to me for him. I don't know.
There's nothing left, man. All there's left is country after the end of it.
I guess so. There's that.
Plus, it shows what you would do for your family.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm not a big Gears guy. Like, I'm more into the Halo universe and stuff like that. I did play the first Gears. I kind of skipped over the other ones, but I am the enemy set in Gears 4. I want to see how they develop it, where they came from, what is like the goal with that. And I am really interested in the whole, it's the first 26 hours. This game has kind of sparked my interest for Gears. I do want to play this and see where Coalition is going with it, because the game, it already, like, from the gameplay that you've seen, it already looks beautiful. But I want to see like where they're going with the story, and the enemies definitely they do intrigue me.
I think, when it comes to the trailer, I think it did what it needed to do. It made everyone wonder what happened and why it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix stopped everything he was doing, and with the war before, he did have the family. He had the son, the wife, they were planting the tree, and it was supposed to be that whole memorial thing, I guess you would say, and it's taken away. So I think that's kind of what, just from my opinion, I think the trailer was supposed to kind of just pull you in to make you want to know what happened. Why did this happen? Where is Phoenix now?
I'm going out on a limb, since there's only 3 characters, that Marcus Phoenix is going to be playable at some point.
I don't think he'll be playable, but I think, he will be in the multiplayer. They've said they're going to bring people back, but yeah, sure. I don't think he'll be back in the single player.
Yeah, I don't. In the story with the, if you want to look deeper into it, you had Marcus planting a tree, but then you had his son, fully grown up, running through a forest in which trees are like being set on fire and tearing down and stuff. Right. That could be a metaphor that they're really moving forward with his son. And
you also see the tree that he signed is also pushed down as well.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and,
Yeah,
it takes
exactly.
place 25 years after Gears 3. So, if anything, I think there's
I think
definitely
you see a
possibility.
flashback. I think
Yeah.
you see a flashback or something.
Or there might be a cameo. I just don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll have a substantial role. But one thing I didn't notice this until Rod pointed it out, and because when they first said it takes place over 24 hours or whatever, I was kind of I kind of groaned. I was like, oh, that's kind of hard to set up a whole new franchise over just 26 hours. But Rod made the point of apparently the first Gears game from 2006 was supposed to take place over 24 hours. Like, I don't, like, in my head, when I think of all the set pieces, like, it doesn't feel like it was just one day, but I guess that was the original setup, too. So I guess I'm not worried about it anymore.
Jason Adkins said the Gears trailer's got 2 million plus views right now.
Wow.
It
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
surprise
it's a
me.
good trailer. I mean,
Yeah, it's really good.
regardless of what you think of the franchise, it's a good trailer. It's well put together.
Heck yeah.
I mean, the Disturbed cover, the Sounds of Silence. I mean, they're trying to go back to the fucking Mad World thing, clearly, right?
Yeah, sure, for sure.
They've done that with
I'm
every.
trying to get that magic.
Well, they always, yeah, but the thing is, like, the Gears games are never as emotional as these trailers present them as.
Oh, come on. I don't want to get into spoilers, even though it's been an embarrassing amount of time, but, I mean, the end of Gears 2 and even about halfway through Gears 3 had some seriously...
Really?
Seriously. Oh, I thought...
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to just respectfully disagree on that.
Thank
But
you.
Okay.
like, part of me just wanted them to do just something completely different, new world, completely not tied down to any of the, baggage of the first series, right? Like, just do a different world with new heroes and different enemies and just new shit, like, But of course, it's like, well, yeah, kind of have to, because you got to make it, feel welcome for old Gears players. So, like, okay, we'll do it on Sarah. And, it's Marcus's son, so we're just going to move the story 25 years ahead in the future. Like, I get it from that perspective. I've never been the biggest Gears fan. Like, I do enjoy playing the games co-op, but I've never been much of a fan of the multiplayer. Just not for me. So, I mean, I'm going to play it when it comes out, but, like I've said before, even tonight, like, I'd rather have them make Shanghai Heist. I would much rather have them make a Splinter Cell style game, a stealth game, because those are few and far between. And
I don't want
unfortunately,
Splinter Cell style. I want Splinter Cell.
well, right, but unfortunately, we've had a million Gears clones over the last 10
Yeah.
years.
God,
So,
I cannot believe I'm the only Gears diehard in this podcast right now. Holy shit.
Maybe I just don't get it. I don't know, because I understand the appeal behind Fable. I understand it behind Halo, all these exclusives without a doubt, but Gears is just...
When you look at the games, and a lot of it could be my nostalgia talking, but like when you look at games that are coming out in 2006, I just feel like Gears was so anti everything else, and I think that's why it originally appealed to me. I mean, I can totally get it. Like, they try extremely hard to be edgy, and I can see how that would totally be a turnoff. But I think I've spent the past 10 years playing these games. I guess I just can't see any flaws with them, and maybe that's my own bias.
No, that's fine, man. Like, I'm with you. I love Gears too. I'm not diehard, but I do love Gears, man. Awesome, guys. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. This is something new for the show. I don't think we've talked about this kind of stuff before, but we have some more info on The Legend of Zelda. Looks like it's going to be on the NX. It's no surprise, and to be honest, that's probably why it's been delayed for so long.
Yep.
If the rumors are true, you could have a playable male or female protagonists. Also, some more rumors about the NX. It could have like 6 to 8 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, which that could be kind of huge for the system itself. What do you guys think about Zelda and the NX?
Where's Metroid?
I'll just say this. Nintendo's irrelevant, and I don't give a shit about anything they do.
Tell us how you really feel, Rand.
Oh, man.
Why are
I've
you
said
so
that
negative,
before.
Rand?
No,
Why are you so
Why
negative, bro?
Like, look,
man?
I'll just say this quick so you guys can talk about this, because I have no opinion. Really, actually, like, my gaming history is, my first system was a Nintendo, like an NES, like probably most people my age, right? And then my next Nintendo system was a GameCube, so I have no, like, feelings toward any of their games, like, at all. Like, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, all their franchises mean nothing to me, because
Even Mario?
I mean, I love Super Mario Brothers 3, right? Like, it's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
it's my
games
favorite.
ever. But like, I went from, like I said, NES to the GameCube, so I missed out on Super Nintendo, most of the 64 stuff. So to me, like, all those memories people have from all those games, I never had. So like, when people talk about Metroid and Zelda and all that stuff, I just don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah,
I'm assuming
if
like
they
people
had,
who never
like,
who played
if
Halo don't give a shit about Halo.
okay, well, say if they had like the whole achievements and they
Don't
had
care.
like. I
He's just
guess it's just a straight up don't care.
I do. I don't, like, people have said the same thing. It's like, well, you get a PlayStation, you care about trophies? Nope, turning them off. I don't. I only care because I'm invested into the Xbox ecosystem. Like, I don't give a shit about Nintendo achievements or PlayStation trophies. Like, I don't care. Like, if I do get either of those systems, that'd be like, I will turn off trophy notifications immediately, because essentially, like, I would be playing those games just to play them. Like, I
Mhm.
don't want to see any of that crap at all. And I know that's kind of weird to say when I
I was
have as
gonna
much
say-
as I have now, but like, you know,
But like you
uh,
said, you're invested in that
exactly.
one ecosystem. I could
And I'm-
definitely see that.
Yeah, so like, you guys go ahead and talk about Nintendo. I'm just gonna be sitting here eating my sandwiches.
No, you already just took the last 10 minutes talking about it,
Oh.
so we still got you
So-
talking about it.
So here's the thing. I totally can sympathize and even understand the achievements thing. Today when I went to go pick up Dark Souls, I actually stood there for a second trying to decide between, do I pick it up on the PS4 where I know From Software has optimized the game for PS4, or do I just pick up the Xbox One version? And I ended up getting Xbox One, even though I know it's going to be a little bit rougher as far as frame rate goes, just because I'm like, oh, those achievements, and so I totally get that where you don't want to invest in something that's not going
Gives
to
the game character too, if it's a little rough too.
Yeah, that's the spirit about low frame rate. But here's the thing. I think that delaying Zelda for the NX is classic Nintendo. If you look at what they did with Twilight Princess, they basically launched it on both platforms, and I'm sure they'll do the same thing with the Wii U. I think
I
it's a
hope
good
they do.
idea.
Otherwise, that's a shaft right there.
Yeah. Oh, I actually, I think I said this on the shop, but I originally bought my Wii U right after they announced the new Zelda game, and then of course I don't know, I can hold on to my Wii U and play it when it comes out, but I know the second Nintendo releases a new, more powerful console, I'm gonna want to drop $200, $300 on it. It just feels like such a shaft to everybody who bought one.
What do
Yeah.
you,
I don't know.
Bear? What do you think about the multiple characters, like the male or the female? Like,
So here's the thing. I actually think it's a good idea. Because they've developed their female Link character. There's just gender swapped Link, which I don't think has a lot of character, but I think Link will, and she actually has her own personality separate from Link, and I think that's good. I think that it creates inclusion. That being said, if the narrative, like, I think the classic narrative of Zelda games has always been you're the boy and you save the girl from the castle, and
Yeah.
I think that's a classic trope. But I don't know if I respect that enough for Nintendo to keep doing it. I think having a girl character, if you want to play as a girl, I think that's fine. I think that's cool.
I think it also brings in female, the younger generation female gamers as well. A lot more people want to actually play as the sex that they are. Like, even Shadow of Mordor brought a female into the game, even though it was actually a male-based game. And I love playing the female. It's fun being able to run around as the sex that I am and actually fight and see how strong the female character can be. So I don't know, I think it was a good idea for them to do it.
Right, and who does it hurt by them including a? You know what I mean? Like, if you're a dude, who does it hurt if they?
I don't think it hurts anybody, and I definitely agree with you that they should have a male or female. It's just with such a classic title that goes back so far. Like, don't you think that there is a fan base out there that does want that next, save the princess type thing with the next Zelda? I mean, because they've kind of steamrolled through that throughout their iterations of Zelda for so many years that it, like, introducing the male female in the traditional Zelda game, doesn't that kind of like change the dynamic of Zelda itself?
You know, I actually want to make an opinion about this quickly before everybody kind of jumps in here. I actually, you know what? I actually fully agree with you on that, because that would be like, for instance, somebody asked me this a while ago about the whole female and the main story characters and stuff like that. Like, for instance, Quantum Break. If you could play as a female, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much as I did, or possibly Rise of the Tomb Raider, being able to play as a guy instead of Lara Croft. So I do think, like, games that have that story base and that have been like that for so long, and I do agree with you there. I don't think they should actually change it, but is there actually a layout to this to bring in this character so that it doesn't feel like they're actually changing the gist of the story, though?
Well, I think honestly, it would come down to, I think there would be more uproar if, like, say the character was totally female and you couldn't pick anybody else. But because you have the male Link in there and people can just pick that, like the diehard Zelda people, I think it'll be fine. And then people who just want to go ahead and play the female, that's fantastic. But, you know, there's that part too, like, say you have the hardcores who play through as Link and then come back. I bet you the second playthrough they'll probably play as the female just to see the difference, honestly.
Yeah. I don't want anything to get kind of misinterpreted. I'm down with that. And what I'm thinking about, I'm a person who does like change. Okay? I want to see the next new thing and how they implement it. So I'm not saying it as a negative in terms of the Zelda franchise, but what I'm saying is, since they introduced both the male and female, how is the dynamic of the game going to change? Is it, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm
like
interested
how you
to
play through
see
it.
that.
Yeah.
You know?
I totally get that for sure.
Yeah, well, and I do definitely see where you're coming from, like, because it's not Mass Effect, right? Like, it's not having branching story paths. It's a linear game, and I do totally get that. I guess to me, I think that there have been, and I get respecting a game's heritage, but to me, it's just every game for 30, 40 years has been, you're a boy and you save the girl, and like that, and like, you know, I get like, oh, that's tradition, okay, but like also like it's kind of exclusionary to some people, and if you're a girl and that doesn't bother you, that's great, but I'm sure there are tons of people who just feel like they're left out of the medium, and I think this could bring some people in, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's where my whole point of, like, the generation of younger female gamers, and they're not looking at the old Zeldas, and they're not looking at, you know, all these old games. So this game coming out is what they're going to see as their kind of Zelda. So I think they're also trying to portray more to them as well, and not just the hardcore, you know, Link fans and all that kind of stuff either.
Which is awesome because you have, you know, Zelda's lasted for so long, and it's such a kind of like beloved title with a lot of people. It's awesome for them to be able to grab a newer generation and kind of bring them through the way I know I went through on the original Nintendo, you know, on up. So that's really cool. I can't wait to see what this system is about. You said how many gigabytes of DDR4?
6 to 8.
With them using DDR4, that means they are going to emphasize on multitasking because they're not using like the G graphics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, as usual, Nintendo with the Netflix and everything like that. I'm wondering if they're going to have like suspend features and stuff. I'm kind of excited about this. Yeah.
Me too. But by the way, I think we've talked about this on the shop before. But I absolutely do not expect Nintendo to change their status quo. I expect this console to be on par or weaker than Xbox One and PS4.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at every console Nintendo has released in basically the past 20 years, they've always been just a little bit weaker. And that doesn't make it a bad console. Like, the Wii U still has good games on it. It's just not as powerful. But I just don't see Nintendo changing that status quo. I just don't see it.
That's interesting. What are you going to say, SheWolf?
Well, I was just going to say, like, wouldn't it still be behind anyways, like, if Xbox and PlayStation decide to bring out the, you know, the next generation of Xboxes and PlayStations, you know, this year or even next year at the beginning? It's kind of like, hey, guess what, Nintendo, you're back a couple years, below us again. So
with Nintendo, with Nintendo, I think they have such a consumer base, and I know you haven't really seen it too much with the Wii U, but if they can have enough power in their system, and they can kind of retie back to third-party support, I think that is a win for them. They don't necessarily have to be up there, but if they can bring back third-party support and still have their first-party titles,
Right.
they'll be back to what they used to be.
Exactly what I was going to say.
I think
Xbot,
they
like,
should just stick with handhelds.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with the Xbot there. Like, they're from what the specs, if all this stuff is true, like they're pushing in the right direction. They're gonna get that third-party support. They're gonna be like, okay, Nintendo's back with it now. I could totally see that for sure. Awesome, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the last topic, and the one I really want to talk about is I wanted to end the show off with a bang. So let's go ahead and talk about motherfucking Titanfall 2 teaser.
Oh goodness.
I wanted to know what everyone thought, and what are you guys' speculations on the sword and melee weapons that could be in the game? Who wants to go?
It'll be really messed up if they show that sword in the teaser and it doesn't really it doesn't really solidify into anything. They just kind of hyped you up big time.
I don't see that though.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like the Titan where he's gonna be able to actually like pull out this sword, kind of do like the whole what do you call
Assassinations?
Well, yeah, but also who is it that has the giant sword? Autobots.
Oh, okay.
I'm like completely just brain lost here for a minute. Like Transformers.
Okay.
Like they're kind of, you know what I mean? Like everybody wants swords and everything now. Like nowadays, I don't believe they're just gonna turn around and be like, no, we're gonna show this awesome thing. I don't think the pilots are gonna get anything special like that. I think it's just gonna be like a specialty or even something like that.
Yeah, for all I know, I mean, they could use the swords similar to how from Vanilla Destiny, didn't they have a character whose power-up was a big-ass sword and they just swing it around? I swear that was like from Vanilla Destiny, there was a character who had swords.
I don't remember that one.
I don't know.
No, I don't think.
No.
Was it the enemy type? Like the...
Then I'm apparently having a stroke. Regardless, I don't think it'll be like...
Destiny has swords now.
I don't know. In my head, I was just picturing like one of your power-ups. Anyway,
well,
regardless,
you got the Blade Dancer if you count that.
That might be what I was thinking of. That might be it. But my point being, I don't think all the Titans had guns. I would be shocked if they were like, all right, we're gonna have 4 Titans with guns, and we're just gonna have this guy with a sword. Like, it's clearly gonna be something that you pull out as a special, or that you use in an execution, or whatever.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like going to be an execution, or maybe if you got close up, I don't know if they're going to implement
melee.
this. Yeah, but
Well,
or maybe
they
cut
could
off like an
actually-
arm or something like that.
You could
Kind of like,
actually, if you play like Titanfall, the first Titanfall extensively, with the amount of shields and stuff like that you can kind of go
kind
through
of boost in a little
and
bit.
switch with your Titan. Like a sword can work. I'm not saying that there wouldn't be a gun as well, but like a sword can definitely work. With holding back the bullets with the shield, pushing the bullets back to the guy, lunging forward, and then pulling out your sword. It could definitely work.
Yeah. Space magic.
And that'd be pretty
What if it
that'd be
had
pretty
like some
badass
form
right there.
of like electricity or something that comes out of it? Like,
Oh yeah, like
you've seen a lot of these future games where like the swords actually have like shooting blades come out of them and all this other stuff. It doesn't have to necessarily just be a sword either.
That's a real good point.
Like,
yeah.
nothing has ever been made worse by a sword being added to it, I feel like.
What do you think? Seth?
Only an enhancement is swords.
I love swords.
Everything should just have swords in it. Everything. Division, swords. I want them.
Oh
I
my god,
have a
I would love to have a freaking katana in
Right?
Division.
Swords
I
and
would,
everything.
Like, I would die.
Look
I have
at
a Halo
Stone.
sword in like real life, an actual sword. So yeah.
Like,
I'm down.
everything is enhanced with swords. And so, I'm for it. This is a game I actually like. Anything with swords, I'm okay with. But, I mean, I'm hoping we get them for our pilots as well. I don't not want swords for everything.
Interesting. What about you, Ran?
I'm excited for Titanfall 2. I really enjoyed the first game. I'm more looking forward to a campaign this time around, like an actual
Right.
single-player campaign.
Very much
I
so.
felt was one of the things that was lacking from the first, even though I understand why it wasn't there. They didn't have time or the money to finish it, so they cut it. Because the Respawn people, who are the actual old Infinity War people, actually made some of the best Call of Duty campaigns. So I'd be interested to see what they can do with Titans and all that stuff in a campaign setting. But the multiplayer is top notch. I did see a picture of the Titans wall running, so I guess that's a thing now.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's like a site there, like the official site has like a blurry picture, but people like recolored it and stuff, and you can clearly see one of the Titans' wall running.
That'd
So
be
if
like seeing an elephant run on a wall.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting, man.
So you're gonna have
Yeah.
like what, like
The level design is going to be crazy.
sword
Then, man.
and stuff like there. The sword, the wall running. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with their second outing of the franchise because I'm just not that big of a fan of multiplayer only games in general. Like I feel like we get less value in comparison to what we used to get back in the day. Like last gen, you'd get a game and it would have campaign, co-op, single player, and multiplayer and all this stuff. And then it seems like this gen it was just like, no, it's just multiplayer only, but it's the same price. And I didn't.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is I don't mind multiplayer only, but Titanfall, especially now knowing what I know now, 2 years later, Titanfall with the content it had at launch was not a $60 title. It was a $40 title.
But I mean, eventually, all the stuff that came out for it later, like the Horde mode and all that stuff, I just feel like Star Wars Battlefront and these games, like they're not like adding in stuff that you would think. It's all just like, we're not going to do this single player. Here's the multiplayer, but the multiplayer doesn't have enough maps. It doesn't have enough modes. It's just like, I feel like we're kind of in a way getting ripped off in comparison. And this is the one thing I always say to Call of Duty. Like, I always praise them because with Call of Duty, and I think I mentioned it on the podcast we did about Call of Duty where SheWolf yelled at me.
You yelled at me.
Was that Call of Duty offers exceptional value for your dollar. You get the campaign, you get a co-op campaign, you get zombies, and you get multiplayer. There's something there for everybody. If you just want campaign, you got it. If you just want the multiplayer, you got it. If you just want co-op, like the zombies, it has a lot of value. And then when you compare it to games now, it's just like Star Wars Battlefront, it's just multiplayer. What if I don't want multiplayer in Star Wars? What if I just want a fucking campaign?
You have the movies for that, Rand.
I was going to say, especially those kind of games where you would think there would be one.
I'm excited for this campaign, honestly, because it's the original Infinity War guys who made some of the best campaigns in the Call of Duty series. So
I'm like, just give us. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the campaigns in games. Like, I do like story. I'm not that big of a fan of multiplayer. Like, I will play it, but it's just like, I feel like I'm losing out on a value proposition here.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Well, and I think it's clear how much they're valuing a campaign this time around. I mean, while it's just a teaser trailer, and even Call of Duty's reveals are always single player centric. Like, you could tell from this teaser trailer that it's definitely leaning towards a story thing. They're setting up a narrative with that first trailer, so I'm interested to see kind of how they do that. And one thing I saw in our chat, and I think maybe it's worth talking about, is that if they add Titans that can wall run, maps will have to be huge and roads will have to be extremely wide for a 25-foot robot to run on the side of a building.
They probably have verticality too,
robots.
so you can get up on higher stuff too.
They're like ninja robots.
One thing I am concerned about when it comes to Titanfall 2, I hope they don't take a step back and go back to like peer-to-peer servers. I hope they stay with dedicated servers. Now it's multi-plat, and before they were using the Azure cloud. I know Microsoft said that they don't have a problem, developers using their cloud platform on, different consoles and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that Respawn really, stays dedicated to that part of the game, because I remember, the first Titanfall online was incredibly smooth for me.
Oh, and,
yeah. That was one of the big things with it for me, and I hope they don't try to take a step back, because now, it's multi-plat, and not for anything, but when it comes to PSN, a lot of games are still peer-to-peer, or what they call quote-unquote hybrid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope they stay with the dedicated servers. It's interesting. I like Titanfall. I like the first one, so I'm definitely interested to see exactly what comes out with the second one.
I got a question from. Go ahead, SheWolf. I'll let you
Oh,
finish.
I was just going to ask a quick question. For everyone who saw the teaser, speaking about Microsoft and Sony and stuff, do you guys think that Microsoft actually got the marketing rights to this? Because Sony didn't actually release anything about this teaser at all.
Yeah, I saw the Twitter for like Xbox. They sent out the trailer as well, and they had their Xbox logo in the beginning before the trailer started. So that kind of leads me to believe that I think Microsoft has the marketing for it.
That's usually a sign.
Yeah, because I didn't see anything on PlayStation.
They also had Microsoft at the end of it.
It is funny to see, and it's also good to see how many people are saying Titanfall 2 and how they're excited for it and stuff like that. And I know a lot of those people completely kind of bashed the first Titanfall. The first Titanfall was not a perfect game, but it was incredibly fun. And I put this in my video earlier today. I've in the Facebook groups and on Twitter and stuff, you have people like that are so excited for the Titanfall 2, but because Titanfall 1 was an X1 exclusive, they completely dissected that game and every little thing, and they kind of bashed that one. So I don't know. It's good to see that there's some hype following the sequel.
So now I just have a quick question for you guys. Do you think that Microsoft will still do a lot of third-party deals? Because if you look at some of the things, I think Phil Spencer's explicitly said they won't be doing many third-party deals going forward. They're going to focus on first-party. But because think about it, I mean, Division was absolutely a third-party deal, but Division has also been in the game development oven since 2014. So it's I don't know if Microsoft still is.
I think when it comes to that, Bear, honestly, when he says third-party deals and he's not going to be doing as much, I don't think he's going to be spending the stuff like he was doing on COD and stuff. But where Titanfall was on the Xbox first, I think that one makes sense, and I can see why they would want to take care of their fan base and go ahead and go for that one.
Yeah, especially keeping the marketing rights at home.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get it an exclusive, but the next best thing that they could have brought to the fans is to lock down that marketing deal.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. If Sony has the marketing rights to this, which again, everything points to them not.
It could happen.
If they have it, I would be shocked if we saw it on Microsoft Azure servers. Right. I would be absolutely shocked that way.
Well, here's why I don't think Sony has it, is because they have COD. So they have that deal, and I think that's going to be kind of I don't want us to do that kind of thing. Yeah. So I could see how they probably won't bid for it because they are getting COD.
They also have Destiny too.
Yeah.
I think in the end with Phil Spencer and third party, you said it right when you were talking, is they're not going to do that much of it. There are certain ones, like SheWolf said, this one absolutely makes sense, and there's going to be, third party kind of dealings in the future as well. They're not going to completely do away with that. They are backing away from it from as much as they were trying to do before. And this one definitely makes sense for them to grab it. So.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, I think it all depends on the money they have, right? The amount of money that they have to spend on stuff. Would you rather have them do third-party deals or have them make, Recore and Scalebound and all that stuff? I mean, because Sony.
Well, I think this gen they're kind of lacking on the third-party right now, so. They kind of got all that first-party stuff, so maybe locking down a couple third-party would be.
Well, also Sony really hasn't had that many exclusives lately, so they kind of has money to spend on third-party deals. As far as the Titanfall one, it'll be interesting to see who has that. We know the reveal's coming at EA's press conference, so it's not like it'll show
June 12th,
up.
People. June 12th.
It'll be interesting to see. I've always thought that Sony would get that one, just because if you look at it from EA's perspective. If you're going to sell a brand new game to somebody, you're going to want to try to appease the people you didn't put the game on their system, which would be the PlayStation people, right? I mean, from
Yeah,
EA's
yeah.
But
perspective,
then a question though, with having EA access on Xbox, wouldn't it be smarter to kind of bring that to the Xbox members and the EA access members?
well, we'll get it first, regardless. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
they had the deal. Sony had the deal with Star Wars, and we still got to play it 5 days early.
But I
You
mean,
know?
like the DLC, like you'd get it cheaper and stuff like that buying it through EA. But
Oh,
I
that's
just
true. You do get it cheaper.
yeah, so people would be more willing to buy it faster and more on having EA access. Plus, that would kind of guarantee EA to actually make more people willing to join EA access because of that, which would then brand them out to more members.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, you'd have to look at it from EA's perspective. Maybe, they want to. I don't know. I mean, because they also have two shooters coming this year. They have Battlefield 5 and Titanfall 2. I'm assuming one's going to go with Sony and one's going to go with Microsoft. And I'm assuming it'll be Battlefield 5 with Microsoft because Sony's going to have the stuff with Call of Duty, and I can't see Sony having both. So
Yeah, but Sony also got Battlefront too, so.
Right, but only because Sony and Disney are tight.
That was also like I mean the Call of Duty, like when Call of Duty swapped from Xbox to PlayStation, that kind of was going on the same time that Battlefront was coming out, right? I mean, like there was a small overlap in years where Sony was pushing Call of Duty while also pushing Battlefront. It's also Star Wars. Star Wars takes everything off the table because it's Star Wars and it makes money.
Yeah.
But then I guess to come back though to sorry, Ren, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. I was just gonna say I gotta get ready to leave. So,
all right, bro.
Unfortunately, I can't stay because I gotta go to school. I gotta learn this stuff. I gotta get smart. You
can't just play video games all day.
I know. I wish this class was all about General Hospital, but it's not.
I was just gonna say or watch General Hospital all day, but then he has to.
Did you want to shout out anything, Ram, before you get out of here, Ram?
Yeah, sure. So we have a special edition of TXR podcast on Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern. We're having Jay Adole on, the creator of Gear Gauntlet. So we're gonna be interviewing him, talking about some stuff. Probably have some codes to give away for the game, and then the usual show on Monday.
Jay is awesome. I played Halo with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have 2 giveaways going on. So TXR's got a giveaway for the Copper Shadow controller, I believe it's called.
Mm-hmm.
You can enter that. You can find that on my Twitter account or TXR one. But I personally just put up a giveaway for the Windows 10 version of Quantum Break.
Nice.
So you can retweet that. I'll be drawing a winner for it tomorrow. So thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it. Love talking games with you guys and everybody in chat. I'm not that negative. This is my personality.
He's so negative.
I know. I see some people. I just love the Xbox, but I'm a glass half empty kind of guy. This is who I am. This is who I am. Zazz knows. Right?
Yeah, I know. I get it.
And he hasn't even mentioned the fact that he lost his Division character today.
No.
Oh my God! You have to bring it up.
And with that, I'm out.
And on that note,
instigator too, man.
Oh my God.
That's why he's the best. That's why I carry him on the most. It's like a double negative, and it's just we work off of each other, and it's coolest.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God! I forgot about that.
I got a question to everybody in the chat, actually.
Oh God, no.
Did anybody else lose their Division characters? They just said a hot fix came out. Guess what? It didn't fix crap, and my character's still gone.
Foxfire lost her whole entire DZ rank.
That doesn't matter as much. That's redeemable. And I'm not gonna... Well, okay, it's a little bit painful, and I don't want to take away from that. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt as bad. So, anybody? Predator, go try. Don't be disappointed with me if yours deletes.
I haven't looked at mine yet, so...
Not for anything, but with you talking about this and it's coming out that, people are having their characters just disappear or whatever, makes me really happy that I am so much into Halo 5.
Right?
You should feel happy.
Until...
I feel bad for the game, though. Like, it was doing so well, and now all of a sudden,
And now
having,
this.
like, these not... Well, this isn't even the first one. They had the issue with the hard missions and the challenging missions as well, where they got locked, and then so they had to stop putting those out.
Everybody be afraid for this. This is going to be as bad, and I wasn't even around for this. The Halo 2 katana glitch where everybody was losing that, this is going to be worse, and this is going to spread like a virus. I'm throwing the book out that I bought if this doesn't get remedied by tomorrow afternoon because I wanted to run those incursions. And now what? Nothing.
Not for anything, but with how much Ubisoft is behind the Division, how much they put behind this, like they gotta be at their offices right now, just kind of like,
what can we do to make this better?
Oh,
yeah,
they better be. If not, crap's about to get real.
No.
Like really, everybody check their characters right now. Please. I know. I just saw the chat light up with paranoia.
I'm scared to turn mine on now.
And you know what?
No.
You know what? I know what this is. It heard the Gears hate, and every time I say some crap Xbox based, this Xbox does this to me every time, and I should write them.
I don't think it's a conspiracy against you, bro.
Every time. I don't even have the Kinect plugged in. How the heck is it hearing me? It's Cortana. That's what it is. That's that piece of crap talking on the computer.
Oh, stop it!
It's conspiring against you, Zazz.
I'm part of the preview program. They said, I think it was like by the end of May or whatever, the next preview.
Yeah, between May and June, yeah.
And supposedly we're going to be testing out Cortana, so that...
Can't wait, bro.
My goodness.
It's testing for all of the anniversary stuff, right? So it's Cortana, it's background music, it's Universal Windows apps. I'm interested to see how many Universal Windows apps are ready for use come preview launch.
I don't know.
Prize zero for me.
I can tell you, I am previewing Windows 10 Mobile. All right, so the Facebook Universal, the Twitter Universal. Twitter Universal, it needs a lot of help. There's some things, and I'm giving Microsoft feedback and stuff like that as well. But there's those quote unquote normal apps. You have the Facebook, the Twitter, and stuff like that. All those universals are up and running.
Big ones.
So
cool.
It's sure that it's not going to work for me.
Well, we don't have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Do we have any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Predator asked.
What's up? Predator? Shout out to Predator.
Yeah, shout out to Predator. It says, question for the panel: what third-party developer will be on Microsoft's stage at E3?
Oh, I said this like a million times. I'm going to go again. It's going to be Ubisoft. It's going to be Splinter Cell. Damn it. That's what I want.
Not Ubisoft. I sure hope it's not them, because they need to not be focusing on their stage presence and getting my dang character back. I don't even care who it is. I want to make it the Recore guys. I don't even believe that game's real. I think it's just a fairy tale.
You're so salty right now.
Oh,
it'll. I'm thinking Dice, and I think it's gonna be.
Battlefield.
Battlefield. Yep.
I like that.
Yep. And I think that we might, if we're lucky, maybe we'll see some Mass Effect Andromeda.
I would like that even more.
I think they're going to save Mass Effect for Gamescom, to be honest.
Yeah, you are right, because that would be a game that's targeting 2017, and that does fit Microsoft's thing of Gamescom is for the next year.
Yeah, because I see Mass Effect and Scalebound are going to be the two highlights of Gamescom. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I want to see more Scalebound. They can do it at E3 and.
They're not, I don't think they're going to. Especially how, Phil Spencer has been saying that they have new IPs that none of us have even heard of that are supposed to be announced at E3. So I don't think they're going to bring Mass Effect and Scalebound.
I would say they locked down Titanfall 2 and they locked down Battlefield 5.
Mass Effect like in the
So you say they're going to lock down both of those?
I think so.
I say Titanfall for sure, because I still think that it's weird that if Sony had the marketing rights for Titanfall 2, why didn't they post the trailer? If you look everywhere,
their money, right?
I don't know.
They spent their money on the ones we were just talking about. They can't get them all, can they?
I don't know. I'm just saying,
know,
like, there was no teaser anywhere. Like if Microsoft didn't have it, why would the UK Xbox site post it? Why would the Xbox site themselves actually post it and re-edit it to put in the Xbox
Microsoft
symbol and everything else like that? Why would you waste your time if you don't have it? That's
Well,
just,
my
again, my
question
opinion.
Has anyone checked? So the official Xbox channel has it uploaded on YouTube now, right? Is that confirmed? Have they
On the
uploaded
Twitter,
it?
I don't know if
I
it's
saw
on
it on
the
Twitter.
actual
I didn't check
YouTube.
it
Okay,
I saw it on
all right.
Twitter.
Well, because my only question is, by now, if Sony has not, if Microsoft has that uploaded, but Sony does not, I would say that you're absolutely right. If they don't have the teaser up by now, then I would agree that they probably do not have the rights.
Well, I know for sure they haven't posted it on their Twitter page, for sure.
Well, here's the thing: is like
okay.
if they had it, because this would be huge for PlayStation owners because they didn't get the first one. So if they had it, they'd be like all over the place with it right now for sure.
Well, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Probably don't have it.
We would hear
Come on,
way
Sony's
more
marketing
about,
is crazy right now.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say we would hear about it because they would be saying like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they'd be saying it's multi-plat now and all that.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
I'd be on that right away.
Well, it's kind of like how they right up the gate with Destiny, they were immediately bragging about how they've got Microsoft's former baby.
Well,
making
even
a
Call of
brag
Duty,
too.
they did that, though.
Right.
Like, if you go to the YouTube Sony site, everything is about, like, Call of Duty 3 DLC packs coming out and everything else like that.
Yeah.
I would really brag about it. Just like Mass Effect 2 when they got the exclusive stuff early. I'd brag about that all day. That's just me.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get out of here. I want to go
All right.
cry about my character missing in Division.
Oh, go check. Go check and get back to me.
Well, that's it, everyone. I hope everyone had a great time here on the this episode of the Console Corner. I want to thank our special guest, Xbox448, Bear Claw Gaming, and Rand for coming on the show. I hope you all had a great time.
Of course. Thanks
Definitely,
for having us.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and let all these guys go ahead and gals shoot out their channels and all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and start with Xbox448.
Yeah, my channel is the same as my name right here, Xbot448. I actually just got done with my 1,000 sub giveaway. Sent the Elite controller out today. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what the winner has to say about it. I did a video as well. I announced who the winner was and everything. Real cool guy, by the way.
Awesome.
I got a podcast coming up within the next week and a half or so, which is going to be real interesting. I got a good band of misfits that we're going in together. Yeah, it's really good to be a part of this YouTube community, and I really appreciate the chance to be on here, man.
That's awesome, man. I hope I get an invite to your podcast, bro.
Oh, definitely, dude, definitely.
What about you, Bear Claw?
So again, yeah, thanks for having me on. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at BearClaw Gaming. Or if you want to check out my blog, come on over to bearclawgaming.com. I've got news stories on a daily basis, and I usually have reviews up a couple a month. It depends how busy I am with school and work. So I'd love to have you over and come check out my stuff.
And SheWolf.
Well, you can find me here at Gamers Knows Best. Uploaded Division video recently and going to be working on more videos. Also looking at possibly doing, possibly stream during the weekdays for followers on Twitter for people who want to game with me. So watch for that. You can also find me on Twitter at SheWolf, well, Desert SheWolf. So yeah.
Captain Zazz, what do you got, bro?
Oh, well, great. Yeah. Don't look forward to Dark Zone Hunters that me and Matt were going to do. Yeah, me and AsthMattic were going to do that. We had it all planned out, everything set. Oh, it looks like that crap ain't happening anymore. That's great. Look forward to me and Bear talk about Gears for 4 hours. That's going to be a fun one.
Oh my god.
We're doing that show now. I talked about it. I got it in my head. Okay, it was one-sided, but I talked about it. It's a thing. It's already everybody's talking about it now. Look at the chat.
Yeah.
And then I had something else, but now I lost it after the division thing. I'm just so angry.
Awesome. Oh, hey, big shout out to Jay, the graphic god, for making me look so pretty on the show. We also have Gamers Knows Best T-shirts.
Oh, sell out.
Shut up. We'll put it down in the link in the description. Hey, I'm not getting anything from these. Just if anybody wants them.
Are you really not, though?
Yeah, I'm not. Actually.
No, but help support Jay because he actually does get proceeds.
Yeah.
I'll make a
How about
mug.
Jay?
I'll make a mug.
How about Jay?
That's cool.
Don't forget, we'll be on Xbox Nation. I think Xbot's going to be there, me and SheWolf. So go ahead and check that out tomorrow. We'll be on the Shop Podcast too on Saturday. Make sure you hit us up on Twitter and YouTube. Gamers Knows Best on both. Enjoyed all these guys. Make sure you like everything they do. They're fantastic people. And we'll see you next time. Take care of your fellow gamers, guys.